The train station smelled of coffee and diesel. Lily's phone trembled in her grip as she scanned faces in the crowd. Lucas was supposed to be here. Her cousin. The only person willing to help with Noah's medical bills. She saw him. Dark suit. Familiar build. Relief flooded through her chest. Lucas. She ran. Her arms wrapped around him before logic could stop her. The fabric under her fingers felt expensive. Too expensive. His body went rigid. I think you have me confused with someone else. The voice was wrong. Deep. Cold. Controlled. Lily pulled back. Blue eyes stared down at her, sharp as broken glass. This wasn't Lucas. This man's jaw was carved from stone, his suit worth more than her rent. Heat crawled up her neck. God, I'm so sorry. I thought you were my cousin. He straightened his jacket, stepping back with the precision of someone used to maintaining distance. It happens. But his eyes lingered. Calculating. Curious. Then he walked away, swallowed by the crowd. Lily's heart hammered against her ribs. The real Lucas appeared moments later, apologizing about delayed luggage. But she couldn't stop replaying those blue eyes. The way they'd studied her like she was a puzzle he hadn't decided to solve yet. Days blurred into exhaustion. Teaching art to children who still believed in magic. Rushing home to Noah, who pretended he wasn't in pain. Medical bills stacking up like tombstones. When the museum offered her a temporary guiding position for a charity event, she took it. Extra money. That's all that mattered. The gallery sparkled with chandeliers and champagne. Rich people in expensive clothes pretending to care about underprivileged children. Lily adjusted her simple dress and forced a professional smile. Then she saw him. The man from the station stood near the back, holding champagne like it bored him. But when his eyes found hers across the room, something shifted. Recognition. And something darker. He smiled. Not friendly. Dangerous. Her stomach dropped. Do you always hug strangers, or was I an exception? His voice came from beside her. Woody cologne. Proximity that made her skin electric. Lily turned slowly. I already apologized. Yes. But now you owe me a story. His blue eyes held hers. Why exactly did you think I was someone else? I was waiting for my cousin. I saw your back and made a mistake. Does your cousin wear $5,000 suits? Heat rushed to her face. I only caught a glimpse. And for your information, some people don't judge others by their clothes. Interesting answer. He tilted his head. So now you work here? Temporarily. I'm an art teacher. I needed extra money. Do you like art? The question surprised her. Yes. A lot. Something flickered in his expression. Then I'm curious to hear your explanation of the pieces on display. Before she could respond, the coordinator called her to start the presentation. She spoke about brushstrokes and symbolism, losing herself in the only world that made sense. And when her eyes found him in the crowd, he wasn't just watching. He was listening. Really listening. After her presentation, she escaped to a quiet corner. The weight of Noah's illness pressed against her chest until she couldn't breathe. You talk about art as if it were something personal. She jumped. Ethan stood there, studying her again. Because it is. Do you paint? I used to. Now I don't have time. Because you're busy with something more important. It wasn't a question. She didn't answer. Your gaze changes when you talk about art, he continued softly. There's passion. But there's also loss. Do you always analyze people like that? Only when something intrigues me. Her heart raced. Before she could speak, the coordinator interrupted with a problem at reception. Lily walked away. But she felt his eyes burning into her back. This wouldn't be the last time Ethan Sinclair crossed her path. Noah's cough echoed through their small apartment like a death rattle. Lily pressed a cool cloth to his forehead, watching his 14-year-old face twist with pain he tried to hide. "I'm fine, Lily. Stop worrying." "Liar." She forced a smile. But inside, panic clawed at her throat. $20,000 for surgery. She'd raised $300. The phone rang. Unknown number. "Miss Thompson? My name is Alexander Reed. I work for Ethan Sinclair." Her heart stopped. "How did you get my number?" "Mr. Sinclair would like to meet with you. Tomorrow evening. 8 o'clock at the Skyview Lounge. He has a proposal that might interest you." The line went dead. The Skyview Lounge sat at the top of Chicago like a crown of glass and gold. Lily had never belonged in places like this. Her dress was borrowed. Her shoes pinched. But she rode the elevator up, because desperation makes you brave. Ethan sat alone at a table by the window, the city sprawling beneath him like he owned it. Maybe he did. "You came." He stood, pulling out her chair. "Gentleman's manners. Predator's eyes. You didn't give me much choice." "Everyone has a choice, Lily." The way he said her name sent electricity down her spine. A waiter appeared with wine she couldn't pronounce. "Why am I here?" she asked. Ethan leaned back, fingers steepled. "I did some research after our encounter at the museum. You're an art teacher at Washington Elementary. You live with your younger brother Noah, who has a rare heart condition requiring immediate surgery. You've been denied insurance coverage 3 times. You need $20,000 you don't have." Ice flooded her veins. "You had me investigated? I had you understood." His voice was calm. Too calm. "I'm offering you a solution. I don't need charity." "Good. Because I'm not offering it." He pulled out a folder, sliding it across the table. "I need something from you. And you need something from me. This is a transaction." Her hands shook as she opened it. A contract. Legal terms she barely understood. And a number that made her dizzy. $20,000. "What do you want?" Her voice came out hoarse. "A fiancé." The word hung between them like smoke. "Excuse me? My grandfather controls the family business through a trust. He's threatened to pass control to my cousin unless I prove I'm stable, settled, and committed to something other than quarterly reports." Ethan's jaw tightened. "He wants to see me married within 6 months or I lose everything I've built. So find someone who actually wants to marry you." "I don't want marriage. I want control of what's mine." His eyes locked on hers. "I need someone who won't fall in love with the illusion. Someone who sees this for what it is. A business arrangement. This is insane. This is survival." He leaned forward. 6 months. You play the role of my devoted fiancé at family events and business functions. In return, I pay for Noah's surgery immediately, cover all his medical expenses for life, and give you $50,000 when the arrangement ends." Lily's breath caught. $50,000? Plus a recommendation that will open doors in any art institution you choose. You'll never struggle again, Lily. And neither will your brother. It was too much. Too perfect. What's the catch? The catch is you'll have to live in my penthouse. Be available when I need you. Convince my family this is real. His voice dropped lower. And you'll have to touch me. Hold my hand. Let me hold you. Make them believe we're in love. Her skin burned remembering the hug at the station. The way his body had felt against hers. Why me? She whispered. Something flickered in his expression. Vulnerability. Gone in a heartbeat. Because when you hugged me, you weren't afraid. You didn't see the money or the power. You saw someone you thought you knew. Someone safe. He paused. I need someone who can make me look human, Lily. You made me feel it. The confession stunned her into silence. 24 hours, he said. Decide. That night, she sat beside Noah's bed. He slept fitfully, his breathing labored. The contract felt like fire in her hands. 6 months of pretending. 6 months living a lie. But Noah could live. She picked up her phone. Typed 3 words. I'll do it. The reply came instantly. Be ready tomorrow at noon. Alexander will collect you. Lily stared at the ceiling until dawn. She just sold herself to a stranger. And the terrifying part? Some small, broken piece of her wanted to know what would happen next. The penthouse was white and chrome and empty. Like living inside a diamond. Lily's single suitcase looked pathetic in the guest bedroom's walk-in closet. Noah's surgery is scheduled for next week, Ethan said from the doorway. The best cardiac surgeon in the country. I've already handled everything. Just like that? Her voice cracked. Just like that. She turned to face him. Why are you really doing this? I told you. I need. No. She stepped closer. Why me? The truth this time. His mask slipped for half a heartbeat. Because you looked at me like I was worth hugging. No one's done that in a very long time. The confession hung between them, raw and unexpected. Before she could respond, his phone buzzed. The mask snapped back into place. Family dinner tomorrow night. 7 o'clock. Wear something expensive. I'll have a stylist come by. He left her standing there, heart pounding against her ribs. The dinner was at his grandfather's estate. Old money. Old power. The chandelier probably cost more than her entire childhood. Ethan's hand rested on her lower back as they entered, burning through the silk dress the stylist had chosen. His touch was possessive. Protective. Terrifying. Ethan. An elderly man with steel eyes approached. So you've finally brought someone. Grandfather, this is Lily Thompson. My fiancée. The word sounded real coming from his mouth. Too real. Charming. The old man's gaze dissected her. What do you do, Miss Thompson? I teach art to children.
How noble. The dismissal was clear. And what does your family do? They're dead. The words came out flat. True. It's just me and my younger brother now. Something shifted in the grandfather's expression. Respect or calculation? Ethan? A word. He pulled Ethan aside, leaving Lily with champagne and curious stares. A woman approached. Late 20s? Beautiful. Familiar. So you're the one. Her smile was poison. I'm Victoria. Ethan's ex-fiancée? Lily's stomach dropped. He never mentioned you. Of course not. Men like Ethan don't mention their mistakes. Victoria's eyes glittered. We were together for 3 years. I thought we'd get married. Then one day, he ended it. No explanation. Just a check with more zeros than apologies. Why are you telling me this? Because you should know what kind of man you're dealing with. Victoria leaned closer. He doesn't love you. He doesn't love anyone. He's using you just like he used me. And when he's done, you'll be another transaction he's closed. Before Lily could respond, Ethan's hand wrapped around her waist. Victoria, his voice was ice. Lovely to see you. Now leave. Victoria smiled sweetly. Welcome to the family, Lily. You'll need the luck. The car ride home was silent. Tension crackled like lightning. You were engaged before, Lily said finally. Yes. Why didn't you tell me? Because it's not relevant. She said you used her. Ethan's jaw tightened. Victoria wanted the lifestyle. I wanted companionship. When I realized she was leaking company information to a competitor for attention, I ended it. That's not using someone. That's self-preservation. The bitterness in his voice surprised her. Did you love her? I don't love anyone. He stared out the window. Love is a liability I can't afford. Then what am I? He finally looked at her. You're different. How? Because you don't want anything from me except what we agreed on. You're not trying to change me or save me or spend my money. You're just trying to save your brother. His voice softened. That kind of honesty is rare. The moment stretched, fragile, real. Then his phone rang. He answered. His face went white. We'll be right there. What happened? Lily's heart stopped. It's Noah. There were complications. He collapsed an hour ago. They rushed him into emergency surgery. The world tilted. No. I'll get you there. Ethan's hand found hers. I promise. The hospital smelled like antiseptic and fear. They'd been operating for 6 hours. Lily paced the waiting room. Prayers and curses tangled on her tongue. Ethan sat perfectly still, watching her. Then he stood, crossing to her in 2 strides. He'll survive this. You don't know that. I know that he has you. And you don't give up. His hands cupped her face, forcing her to meet his eyes. Breathe, Lily. Just breathe. She collapsed against his chest. His arms wrapped around her, solid and sure, and for the first time since the train station, she let herself fall apart. I can't lose him, she whispered. He's all I have. You have me. The words were barely audible, for whatever that's worth. She pulled back, searching his face. The mask was gone. In its place was something raw, something broken. Ethan the surgeon appeared. Miss Thompson, your brother is stable. The surgery was successful. Relief shattered her. She sobbed into Ethan's shirt while he held her, his hand stroking her hair with unexpected gentleness. Days later, Noah recovered in Ethan's guest room, insisting he was fine. Lily sat beside his bed, exhausted but grateful. Ethan appeared in the doorway. Can I talk to you? They walked to his study. He closed the door. I need to tell you something. His voice was strained. Victoria wasn't entirely wrong. I have used people. I've built walls so high, I forgot what it feels like to let someone in. He turned to face her. But since you hugged me at that station, something's been breaking inside me, and it terrifies me. Lily's breath caught. What are you saying? I'm saying this arrangement was supposed to be simple, clean, but nothing about you is simple. He stepped closer. And I don't know what to do about it. Ethan, I'm falling for you. Lily and I don't know how to stop. The confession hung in the air between them, impossible and inevitable. Then her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. A photo attachment. She opened it. Her blood turned to ice. It was a picture of her and Ethan, taken through the window of the penthouse, with a message underneath, I know the truth, and soon everyone else will too. Enjoy your fairy tale while it lasts. Her hands shook. Someone's watching us. Ethan grabbed the phone. His face went dark. Victoria, how do you know? Because she's done this before. Rage flickered in his eyes. She's going to expose this entire arrangement. Destroy my reputation. Destroy us. Then we end it now, Lily whispered. Before anyone gets hurt. His voice was steel. We fight together. But the damage was already done, and Lily knew their world was about to burn. Victoria's ultimatum arrived at dawn. Meet me at Meridian Tower, noon, come alone. Or I release everything to the press. Lily stared at the message, nausea twisting her stomach. Ethan paced his office like a caged wolf, phone pressed to his ear as he barked orders at his legal team. She has no proof, he said, slamming the phone down. It's a bluff. And if it's not? Lily's voice shook. If she goes public, your grandfather will know this was fake. You'll lose the company. Everything you've worked for. I don't care about the company. He crossed to her, gripping her shoulders. I care about you, about Noah, about what we've become. What have we become, Ethan? Tears burned her eyes. This was supposed to be pretend, but somewhere along the way, I forgot how to act. His hand slid to her face. Then stop acting. He kissed her. Deep, desperate, real. When they broke apart, she was shaking. I have to meet her. Absolutely not. She wants me, not you. Maybe I can reason with her. Victoria doesn't reason. She destroys. His jaw clenched. I won't let you walk into that. You don't have a choice. Lily stepped back. This is my decision. Meridian Tower stood like a knife against the sky. Lily rode the elevator to the 42nd floor, her heart hammering. Victoria waited in the empty office space, sunlight streaming through floor-to ceiling windows. I wasn't sure you'd come. She turned, champagne in hand. You're braver than I thought. What do you want? The truth is so simple, isn't it? Victoria smiled. I want him back. I want Ethan. This isn't about love. This is about revenge. Maybe it's both. Victoria's eyes glittered. I gave him 3 years. 3 years of my life, and he threw me away like I was nothing. Now he parades you around like you're some kind of salvation. It's pathetic. He didn't throw you away. You betrayed him. I made one mistake. One. Victoria's voice cracked, and he couldn't forgive me. But you're lying to his entire family, and he's falling in love with you anyway. How is that fair? The pain in her voice was real, raw. Lily almost felt sorry for her. Victoria, he's not the man you think he is anymore. No, he's the man I made him. Victoria pulled out her phone. I have everything. Photos, contract details, financial records. One click, and the world knows Ethan Sinclair bought himself a fake fiancée. His reputation crumbles. His grandfather disowns him. And you, she laughed bitterly, you go back to being nobody. Then do it. Lily's voice steadied. Release everything. Destroy us. But it won't bring him back to you. It'll just prove he was right to leave. Victoria's hand trembled. For a moment, Lily thought she might lower the phone. Then footsteps echoed behind them. Actually, she won't have to release anything. Lily spun. Alexander Reed, Ethan's assistant, stood in the doorway. Suit pristine. Expression cold. Alexander? Confusion flooded through her. What are you doing here? Finishing what I started. He walked forward, pulling out his own phone. See, Victoria isn't the one who's been sending those threatening messages. I am. The floor dropped out from under Lily's world. You're lying, Victoria whispered. Am I? Alexander smiled. I'm the one who gave Victoria the contract details. I'm the one who's been documenting every moment of this little charade. And in about 5 minutes, every major news outlet in Chicago will receive a comprehensive expose on Ethan Sinclair's fraudulent engagement. Why? Lily's voice broke. Ethan trusted you. Ethan used me. Venom dripped from every word. 10 years I've worked for him. 10 years of being invisible. Of being the man who fixed his problems while he collected the glory. When his cousin offered me triple my salary and a vice presidency to destroy Ethan's reputation, he shrugged. It was an easy choice, you bastard. Victoria lunged at him, but he sidestepped easily. Save your energy. It's already done. Alexander checked his watch. 3 minutes until publication. I'd start making some calls if I were you. Lily's phone exploded with notifications. News alerts. Headlines forming in real time. Billionaire Ethan Sinclair's engagement exposed as fraud. Sinclair. Air caught in elaborate DCEPT1. Her hands shook as she called Ethan. He answered on the first ring. I know. His voice was hollow. Alexander just sent me everything. It's over, Lily. It's all over. I'm so sorry. I thought I could fix this. This isn't your fault. It's mine. I should have seen what he was capable of. Pause. My grandfather just called. He's removing me from the company immediately. My cousin takes control tomorrow. Tears streamed down her face. What do we do? You leave. The words were knives. pack your things. Take Noah somewhere safe. Alexander made sure the contract looks illegal. If you stay, you'll be dragged into litigation you can't afford. I'm not leaving you. Yes, you are. His voice cracked. Because I can't protect you anymore. And watching you suffer for my mistakes will destroy what's left of me. Ethan, please. The line went dead. Alexander watched her with clinical interest. He's right, you know? You should run while you can. Go to hell. Lily's voice was pure steel. She turned and walked out, leaving Victoria and Alexander in their shared wreckage. The penthouse was chaos. Press vans lined the street below. Ethan stood by the window, whiskey in hand, watching his empire burn. I told you to leave, he said without turning. And I told you I don't take orders. Lily crossed to him. We're in this together, remember? There is no together anymore. He finally faced her. His eyes were devastated. They're taking everything, Lily. The company. My reputation. By tomorrow, I'll be a cautionary tale about fraud and desperation. Then we rebuild. With what? He laughed bitterly. I have nothing left to give you. You have you. She grabbed his face, forcing him to see her. I don't care about the money or the penthouse or the lifestyle. I care about the man who held me when I thought I'd lose my brother. The man who saw me when I was invisible. That's who you are. Not the empire. Not the name. You, Lily? I love you. The words tumbled out, raw and true. I didn't plan it. I didn't want it. But somewhere between that accidental hug and right now, I fell completely in love with you. And I'm not walking away. His control shattered. He pulled her against him, kissing her like she was oxygen and he was drowning. I love you too, he breathed against her lips. God help me, I love you. They held each other while the world burned outside. But in the morning, Lily would have to make an impossible choice, and nothing would ever be the same. Dawn came gray and unforgiving. Lily slipped out of bed, leaving Ethan sleeping. Exhaustion had finally claimed him. Around 3 in the morning, she'd spent the night making her decision. Noah sat at the kitchen table, his color returning to his face. The surgery had saved his life, but now she had to save Ethan's. You're going to do something stupid, aren't you? Noah's voice was quiet, probably. She smiled sadly. But it's the right kind of stupid. He loves you. You know that, right? I know. Tears pricked her eyes. That's why I have to do this. The law firm's conference room was cold and sterile. Ethan's grandfather sat at the head of the table, flanked by lawyers. His cousin Marcus smirked from across the room. And then there was Ethan. Fury and heartbreak warred in his blue eyes when Lily walked in beside his grandfather. What is this? Ethan stood. Lily, what are you doing? She couldn't look at him. If she looked at him, she'd break. Miss Thompson has brought us an interesting proposition, the grandfather said. Why don't you explain it yourself, dear? Lily's hand shook as she placed a folder on the table. I'm here to confess. Everything that happened was my idea. I approached Ethan 6 months ago with a plan to defraud his family in exchange for money to cover my brother's medical expenses. That's a lie. Ethan's voice was lethal. Lily, don't do this. I manipulated him. She forced the words out. I researched his family. I found out about the trust stipulations. I engineered our meeting at the train station to make it seem accidental. Everything was calculated to make him trust me. Stop talking. Ethan moved toward her, but lawyers blocked his path. Grandfather, she's lying to protect me. Don't listen to her. I have evidence. Lily pulled out documents. Fabricated emails. Fake financial records. She'd spent all night creating a paper trail that damned only her. Ethan was a victim in this. I used his loneliness and desperation against him. He deserves mercy. I don't. The grandfather studied the documents. Then her. Why are you doing this, Miss Thompson? Because he deserves his life back. Her voice cracked, and I'm the one who took it from him. This is insane. Ethan shoved past the lawyers, gripping her arms. Tell them the truth. Tell them this was my idea. My contract. My arrangement, I can't. Tears spilled down her cheeks. Because I love you too much to let you lose everything. Understanding dawned in his eyes. Horror, rage, grief. No, I won't let you do this. He turned to his grandfather. She's lying. I'll testify. I'll show you everything, Ethan. The old man's voice was surprisingly gentle. Son, I know she's lying. Silence fell like snow. The contract has your signature, your terms, your negotiations. Grandfather leaned back. But what I see in front of me is a young woman willing to destroy herself to save you. And I see my grandson willing to lose everything to protect her. He smiled slightly. That's not fraud. That's love. Then why did you let her confess? Ethan's voice shook, because I needed to know if it was real. The old man stood. 30 years ago, I made your grandmother sign a prenuptial agreement because I thought love was a liability. She signed it because she loved me. And I spent the next 3 decades trying to make up for doubting her. He looked at Lily. I won't make my grandson repeat my mistakes. Marcus slammed his hand on the table. This is ridiculous. They committed fraud. There are witnesses. Evidence. Evidence provided by a disloyal employee who's currently being investigated for corporate espionage and extortion. The grandfather's voice turned to ice. Alexander Reed has been arrested. Victoria Harrison has agreed to testify that she was manipulated into participating in the scheme. And you, Marcus, have been implicated in Alexander's plot to sabotage this company. Marcus's face went white. You can't prove that. Actually, I can. Alexander kept very detailed records, including payments from your accounts. The grandfather nodded to security. Escort my nephew out. His employment is terminated effective immediately. As Marcus was dragged away, shouting threats, the grandfather turned back to Ethan and Lily. The engagement may have started as a business arrangement, but what I've witnessed over these past months is genuine, messy, complicated, real. He held out his hand to Ethan. The company is yours, son. You've proven you can lead. Not because you followed my rules, but because you broke them for something that mattered more. Ethan stared at his grandfather's hand. Then at Lily. I don't want the company if I lose her. Then don't lose her. The old man smiled. Marry her for real this time. Give me great-grandchildren. Make your grandmother proud. He left, lawyers trailing behind him. Ethan and Lily stood alone in the conference room. The silence was deafening. You are going to take the fall for me, he said finally. Yes. You are going to go to prison? Lose Noah. Lose everything. Yes. Why? His voice broke.
Ow.
Because you taught me what it means to be seen, to be valued, to be loved. She touched his face. And I couldn't let them destroy you for giving me that gift. He pulled her into his arms, holding her like she might disappear. Don't ever scare me like that again. Can't promise that. I'm pretty good at making stupid decisions. He laughed. Actually laughed. Good. I'm tired of making all the stupid decisions alone. They stood there, wrapped in each other, while the morning sun streamed through the windows. So what happens now? Lily whispered. Now. Ethan pulled back, dropping to one knee. Now I do this properly. He pulled out a ring. Simple, elegant, real. Lily Thompson, you hugged me by mistake and changed my entire life. You saw through every wall I built. You loved me when I didn't deserve it, and you were willing to sacrifice everything to save me. His eyes shimmered. Will you marry me? For real this time? No contracts. No arrangements. Just us. Yes. The word was a sob and a laugh. Yes, yes, yes. He slid the ring onto her finger and kissed her. Deep, true. Forever. 6 months later, Lily stood in the museum where they'd first spoken about art, but now she wasn't just a guide. She was the curator of her own exhibition. The Art of Second Chances, the banner read. Her paintings filled the walls. Bright, bold, alive. Ethan stood beside her, his hand in hers. Noah laughed with Lucas across the room. Victoria had sent flowers with a note. Congratulations. You were right. He did change, happy. Ethan asked. Terrified, Lily admitted. What if people hate it? Then they have terrible taste. He kissed her temple, but they won't, because you poured your heart into every canvas. The first guests began, arriving critics, collectors, people who mattered in the art world, but all Lily could see was the man beside her, the man who'd started as a mistake and become her entire world. "Al, I love you," she whispered. "I love you more." He smiled. "Even if you do hug strangers at train stations." That was one time that saved my life. They walked into the gallery together. Two broken people who'd found each other by accident and built something beautiful on purpose. The end.